Nice job on MBEF, Tosh. Good job playing off that 580 line. Nicely done. Nice patience for that trade. All right, so let me start. Okay, so the structure of this Instagram live is going to be, I'm going to go over how much money I made in March. I'm going to go over the biggest trades I had in March, and I'm going to go over the one losing day I had in March. Aside from that, before I start all of that, I want to talk about some updates to MIC and some stuff that we're kind of working on. So number one is, how do I flip this? Number one is we are now offering a lifetime membership for members. So basically me and Bao sat down and we thought to ourselves, trading costs are expensive. It's expensive to be a trader long-term. So if people are paying $5,000 for an outdated DVD and getting absolutely nothing out of it, then let's start something that's going to fucking destroy all of them, right? So we already offer the DVDs for free. We already make all the events for free, and now we're offering a lifetime membership. So what the lifetime membership is, it includes everything like free entrances to boot camps, exclusive MIC videos, but on top of that, you get front row seating at MIC events. The next MIC event is going to be a live trading event where Bao trades live in front of everyone. Before the events, you get to come in 2 hours early and be mentored privately by me and Bao. And we have a private lifetime members only Slack channel, and we have a lifetime member only meetups and private dinners. So if there's people paying $4,000 or $5,000 for an outdated DVD that they're getting no content out of, it only makes sense to join MIC for life. Literally for life. You pay one time and you never fucking pay again. You get everything, the DVDs, every single thing for free. So why the hell would you ever pay for anything else than this? You know what I'm saying? So this lifetime membership is revolutionary. I think a lot of people are going to start copying it. A lot of people are going to keep doing it because essentially, if the annual is $17.90 and you plan on trading for longer than 2 years, the lifetime membership makes it so that after 2 years, your trading chat room and all your education, everything is fucking free. Everything is free. So rather than keep paying and paying and paying and paying, now there's a one-time option, a one-time payment, and that's how you get everything. So there's already a bunch of people that signed up for lifetime, and what we're doing is if you're an annual member upgrading to lifetime, we're prorating you for the unused months. So even though that's the cost that we have there, for annual members, we're discounting it even more. So if you're interested, hit me up in MIC, hit up Tosh, you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. So the lifetime membership is fucking sick. I'm so excited to meet these lifetime guys at the live trading event. They're getting front row seats. They're getting all the fucking bells and whistles. And again, they pay one time. They're never fucking paying again. So that's that. All right, so let's go to the reason why everyone is here, the broker statement. So in March, actually, let me turn this over. In March, I had one losing day, right? And I performed very, very well in March. And the reason why I did so well in March is because I stayed disciplined, right? I stayed disciplined. I only wanted to trade the best setups. I would not be really trading on day one unless the daily chart told me that this is a setup that likes to fade on day one. So I basically stayed as disciplined as possible to avoid shit on day one, to avoid the front side of the, sound is a bit muffled. Oh, my hand is on the mic. Can you guys hear me now? Give me a sec, I'll wait for it. Maybe I put this headphone down, put it back up. Test, test, test. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just say yes or something. Better? Better? Okay, cool. So basically what I was doing is I was really avoiding day one with size unless the daily chart showed me that it confirmed. And what I was really doing is waiting for these day two setups and sizing in on these day two setups. And obviously, the numbers that you're going to see are a little bit ridiculous. They're really fucking crazy, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm really, really happy that I was only able to get one red day, and I'm going to talk about all that. But just to kind of show you guys, here's the fun stuff. Oh, also, so I've been keeping a stack of ones on my desk for the longest time ever because I like to be reminded how far the value of a dollar goes. Because if you see these numbers on a screen and you can't equate what that is in the real world, they're essentially meaningless. So I like looking at these ones on my desk. I like looking at all these things on my desk because it humbles me down and it makes me recognize how far a dollar really goes in the real world. So anyway, so let's start. So in March, I traded about 2.9 million shares for a total gross profit of $264,000. So in March, gross, I made $264,000. My commissions were $4,300. My ECNs were $4,600. My SEC fees were that much. My whatever fees were that much. This fees was that much. So net after all those fees was $254,000 net minus $61,000 in locates. And the reason why I paid $61,000 in locates is because BPTH was fucking like 30 grand of that. So net bottom line after all fees, everything is done, I made $193,576.38 just for March. So this is my statement from my broker. This is all the numbers everywhere. This is not gross profits. These are net fucking profits. So anytime a fucking troll says that this doesn't include locate fees, it doesn't include commissions, that's what you could have, right? So those were my trades. So I made a list of the tickers that I made the most money on, and I made a list of the one ticker that I lost money on. So let's go over that. Okay, just so that you see, this is the list. So those are the stocks that I made the most money on, and Atos Day One is the stock that I lost on day one. So let me start pulling up these charts, and let me start going over everything. Okay, so the first one on the list is GBR, right? So let's look at the daily chart. So when I saw GBR, what I saw is a chart like this, where every single push likes to fail. All these pushes like to fail. Everything likes to fail. And because I've traded this stock in the past, and because I know the way the stock trades, I know that when the trend does fucking break, it fucking unwinds. So let's rewind to the day that it ran, and let's go over it. Okay. Sorry, I just got to put my camera down, zoom in, refocus, this and that. Okay, so here's a chart for GBR that day that I traded it. So my game plan on this was to really avoid it unless it showed me a sign of confirmation, to really avoid it unless it confirmed or unless it said, hey, this is fucking a short, right? This is a short. So this is basically how I traded it. You know, what I did in the morning is I saw a triple top at this level here at 360-ish or 370-ish. So when I saw that triple top, let me in a little bit more. When I saw that triple top at this level, and I basically saw that, give me a sec. Sorry, I'm trying to draw all these lines so it makes sense. All right, so when I saw this triple top here, so I saw a push here to high of the day, fail. I saw a push here, stuff, fail. And I saw a third time fail. I was like, shit, if this thing is failing 3 times at 370, I'm just going to take a starter short in this level here, risking this 370 level. So what I did is I shorted here, and I covered some here. And I remember telling the room that if 315 level broke, which was, again, or I think it was, 315. Let me draw another line. So basically, I took the first trade. I took the triple top, fail, shorted, covered. I let it confirm. I shorted, and I covered immediately. Next, as I told the room that if this 315 line breaks, it's game over. So what I did is I waited and I waited and I waited. And the moment that this 315 level broke, I tried shorting it, and instantly it fucking tanked. And then for the rest of the day, you could see that it just basically unwinded for the rest of the day. So that was the first trade. I mean, that was a really good trade. That was a day one trade that I was disciplined in. I waited for it to top out. I waited for it to confirm. And shit, I mean, that was that. I mean, it looks simple in hindsight, but I just waited for it to top out multiple times. And then I attacked. Cool. So that's that. NCTY. Let's see. So if you look, there's a very specific theme with the stocks I like to short. I like to short stocks that push and fail. Push and fail, push and fail, right? So if you see setups like this, fuck, like these are the ones that you should say, wow, Alex is going to be shorting this, so I got to be shorting it too. So let's rewind. Oops. Holy fuck. Oh, I remember this setup. I remember this. So keep in mind that, the last time I saw these setups was when I was fucking trading them, right? So here's NCTY. So remember, it had that daily chart set up where every single time it pushes, it fails. So knowing that and seeing that, this is how I traded this. So I drew the death line, right? I drew the death line at this level. And look at what happens. This was a very simple death line trade. So I basically waited for the death line to break, and as soon as the death line broke, I shorted. That's it. Look how fucking simple that is. I identified the death line. We spoke about it in MIC. I recognized it, and I just fucking shorted it. I shorted when that death line broke. That's it. Death line was at 396, and the stock closed at $2. Easy. Next. IMMP. Wow. Okay, so this is, let me just look at the daily chart. Give me a sec. Okay, so IMMP, let me rewind a little bit more. Okay, IMMP. Same fucking setup, right? Same death line setup, right? So this one was essentially really fucking simple. Identify the death line. Most of the time I'm making these big gains is on the death line setups. So look at this. I identified the death line, right? I identified the death line in the morning, right? So what did I do? As soon as the death line broke, I shorted. And if you could tell, the previous support now became resistance. So if you're shorting by this death line at $3, stock fucking closed at 250, right? So most of the money that I made in March is from the death line setup. Most of the money I made in March is kind of waiting for the death line to confirm and then attacking after that, right? So, look, obviously this shit looks easy in hindsight. Obviously, it looks like, wow, anyone could do this, but the reality is I just fucking did it. I just try to keep it. Other people try to make trading complicated. They try to make trading so fucking complicated that they sound like mathematicians and wizards and all this stuff. But you know what the secret is? The secret is if you just keep it fucking easy, you can make a bunch of money. So that's that. Next, SPI. I remember this setup so fucking well. This was a big money setup. So again, if you look at SPI, look at the daily chart. Every single time it pushes, it fails. Every single time it pushes, it fails. So this has me interested. So let's go back. So I remember, I think 480 was the death line on this setup. Okay. So this was the day it kind of ran, right? This is the day it ran. It went fucking pre-market from $4 all the way up to almost $8, right? Or $7. And basically, I said to myself, okay, this is a big, big runner. This is the front side of the move. This is something that is really fucking dangerous. So what did I do? I had to find the death line. I identified the death line first. So let me draw the death line. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. So this is what I saw on this setup. I saw to myself, everything above this death line is the front side of the move. Everything above this level is the front side. So I'm not going to fucking touch it. I'm going to be fucking disciplined and wait for it to break. And if it breaks, that's when I'm going to fucking attack. So what did I do? So this is the death line right here around this 480-ish level, right? So as soon as it broke this 480 level, I was already interested because when it breaks the death line, it confirms that the trend is broken. So because it broke the death line and it rebounded, my mentality was use the next resistance as your guide for the short, right? So what I want to see is you see this resistance level here. I want to see the stock reject that level and then come back and break that death line again, right? So I want to see it break the death line, push to the next resistance, fail, break the death line, and then I'm good. So what I essentially ended up doing is all the way from 7 to 6 to 5, I avoided it. I avoided $3 worth of fucking $3 worth of the move just so that when the stock failed, I was comfortable, I was confident, and I was attacking. So what I ended up doing is as soon as the death line broke, I took a starter, but I really wanted it to push here. I wanted it to push here and reject to confirm that it was the backside of the move, right? I wanted it to be the backside of the move. So what ended up happening is took a starter here. I added size over here at the resistance. I added more when it was a lower high, added more at another lower high. And then when this level broke, when this line broke, I added my full size. And then what ended up happening is the stock went all the way fucking down for the rest of the day. That was it. So that was that trade. ALT, another one. Let's see. ALT, look at these setups, guys. Look at these setups. I keep looking for the same fucking thing, right? I keep looking for the same thing. So let's rewind. Let me put this phone down while I go rewind. Is all this stuff making sense, guys? I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible so that everyone can kind of comprehend. Okay, ALT. So I basically identified the death line. I drew the death line. Give me a sec. Let me zoom in more this way. I basically drew the death line. I identified the death line. And then as soon as it broke the death line, I shorted some. So again, remember what I said in the previous example. If it breaks the death line, I want to see it go to the first resistance and fail, right? So what happened here? Look at this first resistance area, right? It broke the death line here, went to the first resistance area here, failed, and then look at what it fucking did. It just fucking unwound the rest of the day, right? So what my biggest edge in March was that I was waiting for these death lines. I was fucking consistently looking for these death lines and looking for these levels and only attacking shit like this, right? Only attacking shit like this. And look, you know, these numbers are fucking crazy. Look, you could see it right here, $264,000 in gains, $193,000 net profits. Like these are, you could make a shitload of money on these setups. You really can. The problem is it's got to be disciplined to wait for them. You have to be disciplined to wait for the death line. You have to avoid all this fucking bullshit up here. And that's how you fucking do it. The death line is something revolutionary in MIC. You know, me and Bao created a fucking process to short these things on day one, you know? And all I'm doing is showing you how I made money on these same setups. Next, ACHV. So again, what am I looking for? What am I looking for on the daily chart? I'm looking for these stocks that push and fail, 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 push and fucking fail, right? How many more times can I show you that? These are the examples that I'm looking for. So let's rewind. Let me draw my death line. Another great example. Another fucking unbelievable example. Look at this. This is ACHV. So ACHV ran from 264 all the way up to $5, right? 264 all the way up to $5. Obviously, I see that the daily chart can't hold its gains. I see that the stock is a parabolic runner. So what did I do? I drew my death line, right? I drew my death line. I drew my death line at 265. And what ended up happening, right? Let me zoom in. What ended up happening? As soon as it broke this 265 level, if you just shorted this death line break with enough size to kind of give yourself padding just in case it retested this level, it went from 265 that day all the way fucking down to $3. So you have 60 cents worth of profit you can make when it's just going straight down and you're avoiding this front side. You're avoiding this parabolic front side. So the death line is that a lot of members in MIC are utilizing now. The death line is something so revolutionary, and I'm proving it myself that it works by showing you the gains from it. I'm showing you that if you just wait for this death line, if you wait for this confirmation, if you wait for it, you are going to be profitable. The only problems happen is when you're shorting front side of the move, when you're shorting before it confirms, when you're basically shorting just for the sake of fucking shorting, right? It's just so simple sometimes. If you dumb it down and make it simple and you say, this is the level where it's going to break and never come back and I'm going to short it there, game over. You don't have to use these fucking Fibonacci, these moving averages, all these fucking shit I can't pronounce and all this fucking crazy shit. All I use is VWAP and fucking the chart. That's it. What I do is I draw my death line, I let it fucking confirm, I wait for it, and then I short. That's it. That led to one fucking red day. One red day in March, which led to almost $200,000 in net profit after fees and locates, right? This shit is fucking real, man. This shit's fucking real, and that's what people don't understand. You know, people in MIC are joining and staying because they're actually fucking making money. That's what people don't get. We are the most trolled and the most bashed service out there because all these furus and all the competitors are paying the trolls because their members aren't learning shit. Their sheep are being fucking fleeced. They're destroyed. They're absolutely getting destroyed. Whereas MIC, people are learning. People are improving. There's always something fucking happening in there. So today, we recognize that MBEV was a fucking trap. It was a fucking trap. So what does that mean? Day one, if it's front side, I have a rule. I only use 30% of my size on front side. So for example, if my max size is 5,000 shares, the most size I could use is 1,500 shares on the front side of the move. And I highly suggest that a lot of people do that because if you do that, you keep yourself safe. You keep yourself out of trouble. But the real money, the fucking money, the fuck you type of money that we're making on these setups is the death line. It is the death line. We are identifying and waiting, and we're teaching members how to make money on the death line. And if you're not short biased, no problem. That's not a problem at all. Our guy Harry has 2 videos that explain how to go long on the first bounce. So let me show you. So for those of you that do not, this is our video library. Let me just log in real quick. So for those that don't know, these are all the categories in our video library. We've got daily recaps, we got tax planning, we got setting up lines, tape reading, studying tape reading, death lines, first bounce, hard stops, fundamentals. And if you're a brand new trader, we teach you how to trade in the How to Start series, the Trading Basics series, and the New Member series. So we have a bunch of content. So this is all our videos right here. These are all the videos in our video library. There's, I think it's 300 videos now with over 100 hours in content. But for the example is the first bounce strategy. So Harry taught all the members how he utilized Bao's first bounce strategy and made it better and how to improve it. So that's that. If you want to learn about death lines, we have stuff on death lines. If you want to learn about fundamental analysis, we teach you how to read filings. If you want to see Bao trading live, there's Bao's Trading Fish Academy where each video is 2 hours of live trading. And if you're a brand new member, no problem. We have a How to Start Trading series. We have a Trading Basics series where we teach you everything. So all this stuff is included in your MIC membership. And like we said, we don't charge for DVDs. We don't charge for any of that. And that's why, like I said in the beginning of this video, we are now offering the lifetime membership. Instead of paying fucking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for an outdated DVD that you're never going to use, come join MIC for life. You pay one time and you're in there for life. So that's that. Again, I showed my broker statement at the beginning of the video. I spoke about the lifetime membership at the beginning of the video. I went over all my biggest trades. Oh, let me go over my biggest loss. Shit, I forgot about that. Okay, so I only had one losing day in March, and that was because I broke my rules, right? Remember, what did I say? If it's front side of the move and if it's day one and it has not broken the death line, my rule is I can only use 30% of my size on that setup. So let's fast forward. ATOS was the one that kind of fucked me. Let me rewind. Uh, 475, nope. I gotta go even more. Okay. So let's talk about ATOS. ATOS is a stock that went from $1 to fucking $6 pre-market. It went fucking parabolic pre-market, right? It went parabolic pre-market. And basically, this is a setup that I love because I've traded the stock in the past. I know the way it trades. I know the setup. So if we just keep it simple, right? If we keep it simple and let's draw our death line, right? Let's draw our fucking death line. Here's our death line, right? This is the level that if it breaks the death line, then it's going to be fucking dead, right? So what did I end up doing? I basically just shorted front side. I was anticipating the breakdown rather than waiting for the confirmation. It basically did everything all day, all day, all day. And then what did it do? It tanked, right? It had one big fucking candle down here. And what I ended up doing is I'm like, wow, this is it. This is it. It's going to tank. It's going to tank. Like, this is game over. Like, finally, stock is up 400%. Like, this is over. It's over. Game over. Blah, blah, blah. So what ended up happening is because this started to break down and it did not break the death line, I started to anticipate the setup. I start to size in with larger than 30% of my size because I got too anxious. I got too over eager. I didn't let it confirm. If it just broke this fucking level, I would have been fine. But instead, I started anticipating, and then what happened, right? What happened? The stock went and squeezed all the way back up to high of day, and I started losing money here, and I covered out, and I lost a bunch of money. So this is one of those scenarios where I was anticipating waiting rather than waiting for the confirmation. If you looked at all the other 5, 6, 7 examples that I gave about the setup, you could see that I waited for the deadline. I waited for it to confirm. I waited for it to do what it had to do, and then I shorted. On this one, I basically said, fuck you, I'm right. The market is wrong. And I ate shit for it. So this was a good lesson for me. This was a good lesson to reinforce that the deadline does work. That confirmation deviate from the system is when the setup doesn't work. So what happened next, right? So if you look, this deadline is still drawn, right? So I'm going to fast forward to the next day. So what happened next day, right? So I didn't move anything. I did not move anything. I kept the deadline where it is. As soon as it broke the deadline from the day before, this 430 level, it fucking unwound another $1. So this deadline is very, very clear. You could see right here. If you just waited even on day 2 for the deadline to break, you're making money. So I made a bunch of money back on this on the second day, but it just shows that I was a fucking idiot anticipating here rather than waiting for it to confirm here. So that's that. Hope all that. And the last thing that I want to talk about before I end this is the MIC annual event coming in August. So the way that we're going to do this event is we're going to have a free meetup on Saturday for members. And then what we're going to do is Sunday is going to be a rest day. And Monday is going to be BOW Trading Live. So we are going to host a private session where Bao brings his laptop and me and him go through our process, go through our fundamentals, go through everything that we do from 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning. We're going to go over as a group in front of everyone and then trade live, right? Excuse me. So the way that we're structuring this is MIC lifetime members get to come for free. They get front row seating and they get 2 hours of private mentoring before the event starts. Annual members just get to come for free. They come at the normal time. They can't come early. They just come for free. We don't really want to open this up to monthly members. I mean, I know there's a couple people that messaged us and said like they'd be willing to pay to come for the venue and stuff like that. So me and Bao are still going to discuss what that whole thing is going to work. But for annual members, this is free. For lifetime members, it's free private mentoring and front row seats. And for monthlies, maybe we'll have a small charge for you guys to come. And maybe even fuck it. Maybe fuck it. We'll just have non-members come too for an increased fee. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the meat of this is going to be Bao is going to be trading live in front of fucking everyone. We're going to go over our process. We're going to go over everything. We're going to teach you everyone how to find the deadlines. We're going to do everything in person. And this is going to be for MIC's 1-year anniversary. So there's going to be limited space for this. It's going to be hard to find a venue for all this. We're still in negotiations for venues right now. But obviously, lifetime members are going to get first come, first serve. And it's going to be annual members that are going to get first come, first serve. Then maybe we're going to charge for monthlies. And then for non-members, we're going to, if you want to come, we'll charge you. It'll probably be cheaper for you to just become a member and come, honestly. But yeah, MIC's 1-year anniversary is in August. We're growing really, really fast. We're retaining our members. Members are learning. There's so many fucking members that are consistently making money since joining MIC. These guys are profitable since joining MIC. Were in other furu fucking bullshit chat rooms and they lost money consistently until they joined and they learned how to actually fucking trade. And you know, there's members always helping members. There's members kind of contributing and everything. So, I mean, look, I showed you my numbers and I'll fucking show you again. This is the real deal, guys. $264,000 in March, less fees, $193,000. These are all real numbers in 1 month of just trading the deadlines, right? If I could do it, and if I am showing you that by patience and discipline, you are able to create these numbers, then fuck, man, fuck. Like, why not just join MIC for a month and try it out? And what ends up happening is people join for a month and then they upgrade to annual. People join an annual, now they want to upgrade to lifetime. The value is there. We're giving this shit away for free. We don't charge for DVDs. We don't charge for events. We're giving you everything for fucking free. Anyway, so let's open it up to a Q&A, and then I'm going to call it a day, because the longer I stay at my screens, the longer I'm going to be tempted to fucking keep trading and losing money. So again, I've re-engineered my system. I've gotten my system down to a science. If I trade past 11 a.m., I lose money. So what I do is I leave at 11 a.m. to force myself to not fucking lose money. All those numbers you saw there were fucking leaving at fucking 11 a.m. That's it. What else, guys? Yeah, so I like to leave at 11 a.m. even if it's at a death line, because the reality is I want to make the meat of the move. Yeah, I could keep a small portion on, I could keep a small position on, but the reality is that I've noticed that my biggest edge is in the morning. So if the death line breaks in the afternoon, I'd rather wait for it to break and then I'll attack. I don't want to anticipate everything. I want it to confirm. Confirmation is the key. And people always complain that MIC is expensive, MIC is this, MIC is that. Bro, we're giving you the DVDs away for free. We're giving you the events for free. All it is $5 a day. Instead of paying fucking an overpriced Starbucks Frappuccino, I used to work at Starbucks, and 60% of the Frappuccino is ice. You're basically paying for fucking ice. Instead of paying $5 for ice, join MIC, invest in your education, and fucking start to create financial freedom for yourself. This is all fucking possible. We have 917 people in MIC right now, right? 917 people, and people are not leaving. You know why? Because they're making money. Why would you ever leave a service that's teaching you how to make money? You are learning to fish for yourself. Other people buy here 10,000 shares, get my text message, get my email, this and that. If you're subscribed to an email, text message, food, chat room like that, you might as well light your money on fire, because you're not going to make it. You have to learn to trade properly. You have to learn the system of trading properly. We give everything away for free, man. At least be respectful for us being respectful for you, to giving everything for free, to try it out for a month. And I guarantee that if you try it out for a month, you will never fucking leave. All these guys are buying fucking Gucci sneakers and fucking Gucci flip-flops. Well, first, make your money, and then you could buy all your Gucci shit. Don't fucking waste your money until you have enough money. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to show off to people just for the sake of showing off. Be consistent, make some money, trade well, and the profits will follow. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, guys. I'm going to wrap this up and put it on YouTube. And if you have any questions about me, MIC, or anything, you could tweet at me. You could hit me up on Instagram. You could message me on MIC. And if you're interested in, joining Lifetime, fucking join Lifetime. Like, I'm telling you, Lifetime is limited. We're not going to have it forever. We are already getting a bunch of people signing up because they see the value. They join MIC for a month and they never want to fucking leave. Anyway, I can't wait to see all the trolls that say this shit is fake. If you say it's fake, I'll send you my Excel spreadsheet with all the fills. You can look through 5,000 lines of a spreadsheet. But join MIC and I'll give it to you. Anyway, thanks, guys. I hope this motivates you. I hope it makes you excited. I hope it shows you that there's money to be made in this market. And I hope it shows you that if you're just patient and you wait for your lines, possibilities are endless, man. Possibilities are endless. Talk to our members. Check out our testimonials. Let them talk for you. You don't believe me? Fuck, I don't give a fuck. Talk to the members. Thanks, guys. Oh, Bao said hold up. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we have an after hours channel too. So let me show you guys the after hours. So this is the after hours chat where there's always something happening. There's always something happening. So in the MIC main trading chat, it's business only. It's only business if we talk about trading and business oriented things. And then what ends up happening is after hours is when we kind of joke around and we all like post pictures and we have a good time. So the way that I explain this to Bao is that MIC main trading chat is business. It's you're walking into work and you're being surrounded by business oriented people. But when you go into after hours, it's like everyone's at the bar and everyone's drinking and you're being social. MIC after hours, it's its own social network in here. And I know that when Game of Thrones premieres next Sunday, that I'm going to be talking to everyone in after hours about it because it's just fun. Like I was talking to Austin about Dragon Ball Z the other day. I was talking to a bunch of other people about Game of Thrones. Bao posted some pictures about sushi. So this social aspect is how members also find their trading accountability buddies. So the key to success in trading is not to do it fucking alone. The key to success is to find a partner that can help you excel, that could help you stay disciplined, that could help you stay motivated. And we have D. Oliver that helps with that. We have Woody that helps with that. So if you're trading alone, join MIC and find a trading accountability buddy as a support system to help you make more money together. That's basically it, guys. Thank you so much for showing up, and I'll see you later.